Welcome to episode 2 of our Azamara Quest Australian adventure. In this episode we get woken up at 3 AM to find water running into our cabin. I get to kiss a fish. We try our first specialty restaurant, and we show you some of the Azamara entertainment on offer.
So we got to bed at 1 and we've been woken at 3 by this noise. Look at this. We've got a huge storm happening. Oh my god, look.
There's water coming in here, like that.
What's happening? There's a big storm over.
So it's howling all through that. Huh? So the seal's gone on this door.
Yeah. Looks like the seal's gone on the door.
Look, the carpet here. Look here, look.
Yeah.
Down there, look.
Yeah. Right then. So, we've been moved to another cabin. Bruno, I must say, from housekeeping has been absolutely amazing, hasn't he? He's been such a lovely guy. He's moved us swiftly to another cabin. Everything's dry. We're just desperate to get sleep. So we're still trying to catch up from our jet lag, aren't we? From flying in from Heathrow to Singapore. So hopefully this cabin looks fab. So let's see what the next day brings. This is full of adventure already, isn't it, guys?
I mean, what are the guys, isn't it me?
Oh yeah.
As everybody knows, I'm Grumpy Paulie Morgan. I am so tired.
Yeah.
I'm too tired to be grumpy.
Oh.
What's nice is that we're in this cabin and we're not under 2 inches of water.
Yeah.
I can take my shoes off if I want to walk round. Obviously we're now right at the back of the ship, so we're probably going to feel more movement, but I've never
We don't mind as long as it's
experienced.
dry.
So our original cabin never had noises like it, which you probably would have seen by the video I took. It was just like, oh my god, it was just mad. Now we're here and yeah,
This looks good. It's dry, we're tired. Let's just go to sleep, honey,
this
because
is
I
what Carole
can't.
said to me. Make sure we bring plenty of sun cream for this cruise, mine. We don't want to get burned. I didn't realise that
We should have brought our
we should
wellies.
have bought like we're going to end up
Galoshes.
we're going to go out with trench foot. Not sun.
But anyway, I always say a cruise company is as good as when things go wrong, not when they go right, because it's easy that, oh, we've had a lovely time. To be fair, Azamara, as soon as we rang Bruno's been brilliant. So we'll just see, Paulie, you know.
Let's see how things develop.
It's now nearly 5 o'clock in the morning, another early morning. Anyway, I need just to sleep.
I should be glad to get home. So we can have some sleep.
No, I'm so tired. I know, we're so tired. So good night for now, and we'll speak to you in the morning. Right then.
Right.
Morning all. We managed to get some sleep. We've just woken up and it's 10:15. So we're gonna go and speak to someone at a reception and find out what's going to happen, because if that door, a seal on the door in the bar cabin isn't good, then we don't want to be woken up again, do we?
No, I'm absolutely shattered, mate. It's
Yeah,
so
burnt out.
absolutely burnt out. I said I know it's an older ship, but I've never seen anything like that, to be honest. Right then, solo broadcast for this one. Right, the latest state of play. Been to reception, spoke to somebody, they said they couldn't make a decision, so we said we'll get somebody out who can make a decision. Basically, they've very generously offered to dry our cabin out, not move us, not guarantee us the same cabin for the next cruise because we're back to back. Carole is just absolutely devastated, she's crying, that's why she's having no part in this broadcast. But at this moment in time, you find out how good a company is when things go wrong. And I have to say, Azamara hasn't covered themselves in glory. The woman we spoke to said she's the guest relations manager. How she's achieved that post, I don't know, because she's got no idea about relations. Just an absolute waste of time. And to say that we're like pretty fuming would be like an understatement. So watch this space. So, cabin gate.
Yeah.
The return. Still nothing resolved. Very, very disappointed. Got blatantly lied to by the guest services manager. Because one of my things I brought up was they said they couldn't upgrade us because there was nothing to upgrade us to. And I said, well, aren't you raffling off a suite as long as somebody spends $50? And she said, oh no, that promotion's been pulled now. So part of tonight's entertainment was the raffle to get upgraded to a suite. So what a lying mofo the guest relation manager is.
Please reach in to find out who here is going to be winning a suite. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of a suite is currently in stateroom 7091. There we are, we have a wave. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up to someone who is now going to be staying in a bit of a larger room. Thank you all very much.
Carole doesn't want to talk about it because it just upsets her. So anyway,
yeah, let's
back to the positives.
Yes, because tonight, we'll come back to the cabin because it's still too raw, and hopefully we'll get some sorting tomorrow. But anyway,
so we had a fabulous day.
We did. Can I? Sorry, just butt in.
Oh, now she
No,
can
I just
talk.
want to say because after when things don't go right, you've got to either move on, think positive, and think right. Let's just put that in a box for the minute. Can't change it, so let's move on. So we thought let's just go up to the pool and enjoy going over the equator because on this journey we're going to the southern hemisphere and we've never been to the southern hemisphere and it was really exciting. We wanted to be up for the Neptune ceremony.
But nothing happened of any note there, did it?
It did. So, and it was great fun, and it was just the bit of joy that we needed, just to remember that because we're having, apart from the cabin thing, this is most frustrating thing. Apart from the cabin thing, we're having such a lovely time. We've met some fantastic people. The service we've had around the bars and the restaurants has been second to none. The entertainment isn't your big rock and roll shows and stuff or big theatre shows, but it's actually good, isn't it? But anyway, back to Neptune. Let's start talking about
back to Neptune.
Paul kissed a fish. Anyway,
and I liked it. Taste of her cherry
well, I can show you the video, can't I,
Well,
Paulie?
Carole's going to put the video in, but out of all the passengers on here, they said, right, they do the kissing the fish thing for the crew, and then they want volunteers, virgins that have never crossed the equator.
Because we're equator
virgins. And then for some strange reason, Carole decided that I should be volunteered. I should be sacrificed.
I was holding the camera.
I should be sacrificed to King Neptune.
Yes, and here's what's happened.
To give us safe passage, and this is what happened.
Sire, this ceremony is over, but not all is in clover. We now call upon our passenger virgins who wish to kiss the sturgeon and be a shellback. All those guests who wish to cross over. All alive! Come on, passengers! Get in there! Round of applause! Kiss the fish! Kiss the fish! Kiss the fish! Initiation! I'm so sorry! Don't forget the water, the water, the water! A round of applause for the guests representing the crew! Your Majesty, does the ceremony please you?
That's funny,
This
isn't it?
ceremony pleases me, the best I have ever seen.
So that was great fun, wasn't it? And we got chatting to lots of people around us, and actually we have loads of people come up to you now saying fair play to you for kissing the fish.
One of the nicest kisses I've had for probably 25, 30 years, to be honest. But, just saying.
Hey! Yay! Anyway, after that, we've met a lovely couple, Keith and Sue, haven't we? Who we've just been having a laugh with. So we met up with them and had a couple of beers on the pool deck. And then the rain came back again, torrential rain. The weather has just been crazy.
Turned out nice again. Carole said to me, we're going to have to pack loads and loads of sun cream. Guess what we're going to be bringing home? Loads and loads of sun cream.
After a couple of beers with Sue and Keith, we headed back to the cabin for just to get our head down for
one of our 2 cabins, I might add. We're
Well,
cabin number 2 at the moment because our other cabin is still not
wet.
dry, and Carole said I'm not allowed to go back to it. But we're in the second cabin because we don't
sleep.
want to sleep in a cabin that's wet. But we did go back there just to gather our stuff.
Yeah, and it's
up,
still
right,
wet.
and it's still wet. When you book a balcony plus or above, you get one speciality restaurant included every 7 days of your cruise. So because this first leg of our cruise is 11 days, we get one speciality restaurant, and we chose to go tonight to Prime Sea, and I have to say,
spectacular.
it was spectacular.
Yeah.
Good. Our waitress Tatiana was fantastic. Food in there is like off the chain good.
Yeah.
Everything cooked to
It's a
perfection.
steakhouse,
It's
basically.
a steakhouse, but lots of other stuff on there as well.
But the setting as well is beautiful because it's right at the aft of the ship. So we had a lovely table right at the back.
Yeah.
The sun was going down. It was just perfect.
It was.
Well, I started with Korean chicken with this barbecue sauce on it. And oh my god!
Kimchi, wasn't it?
Well, it had a kimchi base. That's pickled cabbage, isn't it?
Okay.
But the sauce was just divine. That actually came in a bowl, and she came to take my empty plate away, and I said, "Can we keep the sauce because it was so
that
good."
And
You
I
had
had crab and lobster cakes.
yes.
Which were delicious.
Yeah, and then I went for the lobster bisque, and my first mouthful was like, "Oh my god!" Well, first when it came out, there's like a little drippings of lobster in the bottom.
Well,
I thought, that's a bit.
You expect you'll show them that one.
Well, I will.
Yeah.
Poured the lobster bisque in, and it was
Lobster biscuit. You know?
lobster bisque, and the first thing I was going, "My, that was fishy," but you know, it was really delicious. And you had
well, they called it a cheese and onion soup, but it was
Yes.
like a proper old classic French onion soup.
Yeah.
But the trouble is, they got, there's like half a loaf of bread in the top with cheese on.
Yeah.
And I got halfway through and I thought, I still got a humongous steak to come and a dessert.
Yeah.
So I ate half of it, and even though it was delicious, I said, no, I'm going to...
You were well controlled actually, because our
God,
mains come, which we both ordered ribeye, and they were cooked to perfection,
It
weren't
was
they?
16-ounce ribeyes.
It was big.
Oh my god! And what I will say as well is, you'll go to loads of specialty restaurants, and it'll be so and so, and there'll be an asterisk by it. Oh, that's an extra $20. So and so, that's an extra $20.
Yeah, no, it's
there
all.
was no restrictions whatsoever.
Yeah.
So we had the biggest. Well, it wasn't the biggest steak. There was another big steak for 2, but we had the 16-ounce ribeyes a piece. Asked for them to be cooked differently. They both came out and they were both
Perfect.
cooked to perfection.
Sides, we had French fries. We had this sprouts in with bacon and.
That was the maddest thing. Sprouts
I
with
liked
bacon
it.
and almonds.
Yeah, you weren't so keen. We had, what other sides did we have?
We had a
Just chips,
saddleback potato.
which was average. It was just like a baked potato.
And we had a couple of different sauces, but we still had our sauce from the Korean chicken.
Yes, which was perfect. So we ate our steak. Well, nearly man, I couldn't eat. It's too big for me. But the flavour of the steak was amazing.
Fantastic.
Absolutely superb. And we got to the end of that meal. I said, I can't do dessert. And Tatiana said, come on, try a little bit. So I had a mango sorbet, which was delicious. And Paulie didn't have a dessert.
But obviously, because we've got our next cruise after this is a 14-day, so we're going to get 2 specialty restaurants, and there's only 2 specialty restaurants on here. Plus, you can do like the chef's table, and the chef's table is more about a wine pairing type thing.
Yeah,
which
it might be worth trying, Paulie. We've never done it.
But I don't drink wine.
No, I know.
So what a way,
I'll
it's
have
like
yours.
Yeah, well, okay, yeah, well, of course you will. Yeah.
But going back to
if they got a chef's table where it's Guinness taste,
or beer,
then it'd be different.
But Prime Sea, if it doesn't come with the type of cabin that you book, it's $35 a person, and that's an Aquilina, which is the other specialty restaurant, is a Italian restaurant, isn't it? Is the same price.
So we'll probably try both of those on the second leg of the cruise.
It was
but
good.
What I'm going to do next time, I'm going to start at the desserts.
Yes, because we didn't have a dessert, we were so full. So yes, so that was a great success, wasn't it, Prime Sea? So definitely recommend if you're coming on Azamara Quest. And then it was time for entertainment for the evening, and the captain was going to introduce us to all his officers. So we headed to the cabaret lounge for 8:45. Met up with Keith, who's become our sort of our buddy, and we watched the show. Captain's great personality, hasn't he?
He's a dry
he is very dry. Norwegian originally, isn't he? He lives in New York now, and what he does on his spare time is he flies planes. Yeah, so it's like, oh my god.
It's quite annoying.
But we got introduced, a bit annoying. We got introduced to all the staff, which is always nice to put, names to faces, etc. And then it was the first of our sort of what we call the entertainment show. Well, we had the violinist last night, who was excellent, wasn't it? But it was called.
We don't call it the entertainment show.
What do we call it? Theatre show.
Production show.
That's it. Which was called Take Two, and the theme was basically films, wasn't it?
Songs from films.
Yeah. Obviously, it's a smaller ship, so the entertainment team is small. There's 6 members by the looks, isn't there? 3 girls and 3 boys.
No, there's more than that, mate.
There's 6.
There's more than 6, isn't there?
No.
They must come out with them some dummies, where you.
And fair play to them. Just for 6 people, they put on a great show, didn't they?
I have to watch my video back and count them.
There are 6.
6. You were never all right.
Not often. But anyway, started with The Greatest Showman, all sorts, went Dirty Dancing, and we thoroughly enjoyed that. So that was great. And then we thought we were going to have an early night because we're still shattered from not getting enough sleep and cabins and stuff, and being a bit stressed. So we decided we're just going to go for one for the road in the living room, which is a fantastic lounge right at the front of the ship where there's the house band playing. And what are they called?
They are called. Something for something. We'll put a ticker tape. It's quite late now. We'll put a ticker tape at the bottom.
And they are brilliant, really good.
Really good. They are.
So we watched them for a bit, and then DJ Scott came on, who put on some tunes, and
we didn't even realise that DJ Scott, we met him about 5 years ago on the Morella Discovery, and he came out and said hello to us today. He said, "Oh, I remember you," and it was like, "Oh my god!" As soon as I seen him, oh yes,
it was lovely because he said, "My friend," he said, "You know my friend," and we're like, "Do we?" He said, "Yes, Gavin, who was the cruise director on Discovery." So we had a lovely chat with Gavin. So if you're watching, Gavin, hi. And we had a lovely chat with Scott. So it was really nice to catch up, wasn't it? It was brilliant. So we've had another fab evening.
But you started saying about one for the road, and because Keith's a very bad influence,
he is.
One for the road turned into 3 or 4 for the road. We were going to be in bed.
I've been good. I only had 2 wines,
and it's now 25-1.
I know.
So,
but anyway,
it's been a day of mixed fortunes, but
overall very good. Forget the cabin bit. Everything else we're thoroughly enjoying,
and we're having a great time.
We are. We've met some fabulous people. Anyway, time to go to the pit, and let's see what tomorrow brings.
Realising that the logistics of trying to live in 2 different cabins on 2 different decks just wasn't viable, I headed down to guest relations to see if we could move all our stuff to the aft cabin until our cabin had been fixed. They said that this was fine and that they would be in touch within the next few days.
Right then, so let's tell you about our day at sea. Gone our way to Bali. So we got up, as we said before, moved out into our cabin, and we're very happy with our new cabin now, aren't we?
Yes.
Everything's settled and it's lovely, so no complaints there, thankfully. And then we decided, let's get on with a little bit of work. So we went up to the cafe, isn't it, on, what's it called? Where's my programme from yesterday? Sorry about this.
As you can see, Paul and Carole are still the pinnacle of professional journalism. Anyway,
so we went to the cafe, which is the Mosaic Cafe on deck 5,
yes,
which is a lovely area just in the atrium. There's only a very small atrium, isn't there, on the ship, but it's beautiful, all decorated now, isn't it? So, and they do obviously all your coffees, and they do some cookies and cakes, and throughout the day they have snacks too, which is fab.
It's all FOC, all included in your fare.
Yes.
And there's a lovely waitress there called Joanne.
Yes.
And we think there must be 17 Joannes, because everywhere we go on the ship, she seems to serve us. And she's lovely. She really looks after us. And I'm not saying that she knows me well already, but she calls me Mr. Chocolate.
Yes. No, she was fabulous. So, yes, we sat there, did a little bit of work, and then we decided that we were going to just go and have a bit of a pool day, didn't we?
We did.
So we went up to the pool. Lovely, comfortable sunbeds on here. They are close together, considering, aren't they?
Well,
it's only a small pool deck.
It's a reasonable size. Like I said, we'll see what happens on the next leg of the cruise when there's a lot more people on there. But it's like, you couldn't make this up. When we went to the pool, without exaggeration, if there's 400 beds on the pool deck, we went and led on 2 that was nowhere near anybody, not a person in sight. And this doddery old bloke comes up and he goes on the bed next to me.
Even though there's about...
Oh, no, there must have been 350 free beds. And he lies on the bed.
About 30.
Well, hundreds. There was 1 million beds. And he comes up and I was like, are you serious?
Anyway, it was lovely, and we just dozed there, didn't we? I had a swim in the pool, which is lovely. It's 5'5", so I can't touch the bottom. But it was lovely. I swam 15 lengths, but each length is only about 10. But it was lovely.
If it was 4'5", she couldn't touch the bottom, and the length of the pool is about as wide as this cabin. So, you know, I don't think like Duncan Goodyear or anybody's going to be getting scared just yet from your swimming prowess. But see my modern reference to swimming there, look. Duncan Goodyear.
Anyway, so we had a lovely time, and then we sat there then afterwards and had a couple of cocktails and watched the sun go down.
Did, yes.
Which was just lovely. The weather's warm. There was a sprinkling of rain, but no more rain after that. And we had some sunshine, so that was a big bonus. And then it was time for food, and in the Windows Cafe, they had Asian night. Oh my! The food on here is just something else, isn't it? Absolutely superb.
It is spectacular, and in the buffet, I have to say the buffet's not massive, but it's a good choice.
Yeah.
And everything we've tried has been really, really,
really good. Yeah.
And last night, I had some spare ribs.
You had everything.
I had some spring rolls.
As you can see from this plateful here.
I had Kung Pao chicken.
You did.
I had beef on skewers.
Yeah.
I had
chicken on skewers.
I had Asian rice. I had loads of them. And I sat down, and the level of mickey taking from the staff, I mean, I'm loving it. It's like they know me all their life. And as I sat down, and this lovely waitress came across, and she said, "Oh, you've got no appetite tonight, then?" And my plate was like this.
It was delicious.
I
had the skewers as well, and the flavours were just amazing. So another good dinner had.
Yes, it was.
And it actually is really so casual. That's one thing to say about Azamara. You don't really have to dress up. We just walked through the windows and sat out in the Sunset Bar, which is another fabulous spot. Still in our sundress, and you had your t-shirt and shorts from the pool area, and that was lovely because then we came back and we got showered, ready for the night's entertainment. And in the theatre tonight, it was Roy Thieker again.
Roy Thieker again. It was Roy Thieker, the violinist from who we saw earlier in the cruise.
Yeah. Because he's getting off tomorrow, isn't he?
Yeah, he thought he was getting off today, but he's getting off tomorrow now. So he's a fantastic violinist.
Yeah, another great show.
Another completely different show from earlier in the cruise.
Yeah.
And just a great
thoroughly
show.
Enjoyable, very, very good.
And I think I suppose the measure of something, when you're appreciating something and it's a good show, it just goes by so quickly, and it seemed like he was on for 5 minutes.
And the band was fantastic.
Oh, they are. They're one of the best.
We say this all the time. They don't.
But they are.
Yeah.
For a they're a 6-piece, 2 brass, 2 guitarists, drummer, keyboard player.
Excellent.
The sound that they make is phenomenal. I think.
It's good. Yeah. So another enjoyable show, and then we decided rather than go up to the living room straight away, we go to the Den. Now the Den is where Jose on the keys plays, isn't it? Or Jose, I think it's Jose. So we sat at the bar. We thought, we'd sit at the bar and just have a chat with whoever, and we got to chat to some lovely people, didn't we? And also the bar staff was funny, wasn't it?
Oh.
We had Benjamin and we had Ruby, and we just had some banter with them, which was great. And then Jose, who sings anything, any request, and
Well, this is when like you get seriously caught out, because Benjamin the barman, Ruby was singing behind the bar, and Ruby's lovely.
Yeah.
Her singing voice isn't lovely. And Benjamin said, "Oh," he said, "if you want to sing, I'll go and get your microphone." I said, "No, you're all right, mate." He said he can play anything.
Yeah.
Now, bearing in mind this is a conversation at the bar, and he's playing the piano like 20 foot behind us, so he must have ears like a bat. Because I said, "Oh, he can play anything, can he? Does he know Enter Sandman by Metallica?"
Yes.
And about 10 seconds later, he started playing Enter Sandman by Metallica on a piano.
Which we were really found amusing, but I don't think any of the other passengers. But I don't know, the passengers were like, "What?"
What? But he was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
And then he came across. He said, "Well," he said, "you're gonna have to come up and sing." I said, "Oh, do you know any Nat King Cole?" He said, "Well, I only know 2 Nat King Cole songs, which is Unforgettable, which is a beautiful song, but it's quite slow, and Love,
yeah,
which is a bit more up tempo." And incidentally, on a tangent, my dad sings both of those songs.
Yeah, and he sings them beautifully, doesn't he?
So I thought, well, I can't give up the opportunity to sing one of these because I've never sung it before. So I did. So I got up and sang Love with Benjamin, which Carole Mayer. I haven't seen the video to this show.
I did video it.
Yeah, so
I should put it in here. Though for copyright, you probably can't see a lot because of
we just have to put a little snippet on. But just imagine that I sang it absolutely brilliantly.
Well, you did. It went down very, very well.
Yeah, I mean, the 8 people in the lounge thought it was great.
It was more than that.
Two in love can make it. Take my heart and please don't break it. Love was made for me and you.
And then we thought, should we go for a roadie? We're learning so much.
Carol's coming out with all these Australianisms.
We've met this lovely guy called Keith who has us in hysterics, and he's been teaching us. We've learned all sorts, haven't we?
Yeah.
We've learned that flip flops are called thongs.
Shorts are called
stubbies.
And one for the road is a roadie.
Do you want a roadie?
Yeah.
So we went up to the living room for a roadie.
We did. And rather a pleasant surprise for us, Roy Thieker, the violinist, was in there with a couple of guys out of the band.
Yes, we had a lovely chat with
We
them.
did, and they were real. The 2 guys in the band, it was the pianist and the guitar player.
Yes.
And we had a good laugh, yeah.
And also, we got chatting to DJ Scott, who's a lovely guy, who is actually from Cheltenham, which is literally up the road from us in Gloucester. So that was
down the road.
Yeah. So we had a lovely, nice evening, and as usual, we were probably the last to leave the bar. Yeah. So we headed off to bed.
Join us in episode 3, where we pay our first ever visit to Bali and we get to experience our first As Amazing evening.